Hi, this is Joe from Joe's Butcher Shop, and today we're going to talk about a whole chicken and how to do an 8-way cut and how to break it apart in its pieces. What we have in front of us is a whole fryer. You notice everything that we're using is on a yellow coated board. Even my knife has a yellow handle. This is to prevent cross-contamination here in the shop, so it's a good sign. You want to watch for that in any vendor that you have as far as making sure they're not cross-contaminating items in their shop. This is actually a fryer. A fryer is going to be smaller than, say, a roasting hen. Fryers are great size for your grill. On a whole basis, you can do a lot of things with them. You can roast them in your oven whole, season them up. Another thing you can do is set them up and make a beer can chicken on your grill. A lot of folks do that. But today we're going to talk about cutting this up 8 different ways. The first thing we want to do is remember our knife safety. We always want to keep the knife pointing away from us when we do this. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to look up inside the cavity, and we're going to look and notice that there's a piece of skin that runs here. If you can see, it runs between the bottom of the breast and the outside of the thigh. We have to cut this piece in order to get exposure to the chicken. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to run our knife up in that piece of skin and break it open. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, notice how I'm pointing the knife away from me. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to look inside and we're going to pull this guy open a little bit more. We're going to break the back. Notice I've broken it at a pretty level plane there. We're going to take our knife and cut right across where we broke. Now we've separated the thighs and the legs from the breast and the wings. We're going to take our knife, keeping the knife pointed down, and we're going to break across the backbone here in a little V motion. And then we're going to trim this up a little, taking the fat off the thigh, cutting off the tail portion, keep it nice and clean. We're going to come back this way and we're going to pull this backbone off this thigh. Same cut that we did to break it apart. Again, we're going to clean this thigh up a little bit here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to separate the thigh from the leg, the thigh from the leg. And notice where I'm feeling here with my thumb. I'm feeling for a joint between the two, and that's right where I want to place my knife. And what that's going to do is allow me to cut without cutting a bone. So there you've got one leg and one nice thigh there. Going to feel for that joint again. I'm going to place my knife right in that joint. And again, you've got a nice leg and a thigh. We're at 4 pieces with a couple scraps. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to pull the wings off this, cut them off. You notice I'm pulling the wing out, cutting at the base of the wing to find where the joint is, and then I'm going to go right behind that joint. Some people call this a silver dollar cut because how it leaves the silver dollar on the side of the wing, side of the breast, I'm sorry. Again, we're going to start a cut. We're going to pull. Notice where the joint is, and we're going to cut that right off. Now here's the toughest cut of them all. You'll notice I'm going to put my thumb on the inside of the rib cage here. On the inside of the rib cage up against the back of the chicken. There's the breast. You see the 2 halves. I'm going to keep that thumb to the left side of this bone so that I don't cut my finger. And we're going to take the knife and take it right down the neck and the back. And then again the same cut that we used on the thighs to cut the breast in half. This breast is looking good. And on this one we got a little work to do. We got to cut the neck off the rib cage. And there you've got it. The chicken cut 8 ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.